He said, you miss me? How you doing, baby boy?
Two of Floyd Mayweather's former proteges and past ring rivals Gervonta Davis and Rolando Romero have reunited in the lead-up to Davis's upcoming fight against Lamont, revealed that he brought Romero into camp because he considers him one of the hardest punchers he's ever faced, making him a valuable asset in preparation.
I ain't gonna lie, Rolly has people be sleeping on Rolly because he been obviously, I don't know how to say it, obviously. But yeah, if he don't got no chin now, so Rolly be getting caught, but Rolly, he can hit, bro. Like, he can hit. He's the only person I felt like when he swung, it felt like bricks was in his gloves.
Is that the hardest one?
Preparation for his fight against Gervonta Davis hasn't just been focusing on speed and rhythm. He's also been building power through weightlifting and strength training to ensure he's fully ready for battle. Rolando Romero, fresh off one of the biggest wins of his career against reunited with Gervonta Davis during training camp, sharing some intense and memorable sessions known for their punching power. Both Romero and Gervonta Davis went head-to-head on the heavy bag and put in sharp mitt work together. Beyond their training chemistry, the two fighters also share a unique accomplishment. They both dropped Ryan Garcia in the second round on their way to victory. Under the guidance of Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis, the duo trained side by side in the gym, sharpening their skills and pushing each other through intense sessions. After the training session, reporters Romero for his thoughts on the upcoming rematch between Gervonta Davis. Interestingly, despite being a former opponent, Romero expressed confidence Gervonta Davis, the man who handed him the first loss of his career.
I definitely felt that.
I truly but that also didn't seem like just Tank in general, and
so is that Lamont and Tank's fault?
And I will tell you this, Tank, I know for a fact, was sparring a 122-pounder, and that was the only person he sparred all camp. Literally all camp, that he sparred a 122-pounder.
Was he taller than these guys?
No, he's shorter than Tank.
Bro.
Or him and Tank same height. Like I said, Tank wasn't really training.
Romero said about the rematch, "I believe he'll make the necessary adjustments to get the job done." Romero, who was knocked out by Gervonta Davis in the 6th round of their lightweight title clash in March 2022 at Barclays Center, remains uncertain about the outcome of Davis's recent 12-round bout against Lamont Roach for the WBA 135-pound title. While he acknowledged Roach's impressive performance and gave him credit, Romero believes Davis will learn from the mistakes he made that night and come back stronger in the rematch. Speaking with the Ring ahead of a press conference promoting his own upcoming fight against Ryan Garcia on May 2nd in Times Square.
People want to discredit Tank as he's still a pound-for-pound fighter.
Yeah. What do you think about that fight that happened? You thought it was just an off night, or?
Everybody has an off night.
Romero reflected on Davis's controversial draw with Roach. Lamont Roach shocked the entire boxing world that night, Romero admitted. Rolando Romero shared his thoughts on the controversial draw between Gervonta Davis, offering a measured perspective on the bout and calling for a rematch to settle the score once and for all. "I think even Lamont took himself by surprise," Romero admitted, reflecting on Roach's impressive showing. "Well, I won't say that completely, because he came in there confident and composed. He fought like a real professional, and it was a very close fight." Romero, who was previously Gervonta Davis, their 2020 title fight at Barclays Center, understands firsthand how dangerous Tank can be.
An off night. Shit, I had a night and we cruised. Everyone has a nice boxing.
Want to run that back with Cruz or what?
Maybe down the line.
Roach is a tremendous fighter, bro. He's a really good fighter, man, dude. He beat Hector Garcia, and then, you know, he took the belt from him, and he came up, you know, and I know he's a lot more durable and stronger at 135, you know.
He's also seen Tank the most in previous fights before. Like
they already had two.
In the ring. But even with that experience, he gave Roach full credit for his performance, acknowledging that Roach executed a smart, patient game plan that caught many off guard. That doesn't take anything. Gervonta Davis Romero clarified a 3-division world champion and one of the greatest fighters of our generation.
Tank and Roach, they fought twice before in the amateurs.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, they had history and they sparred a good amount of times and all that stuff. Yeah, but.
So you think a rematch? Do you think this remotivated Tank? And do you think a rematch, Tank just goes in and wins that fight?
I don't know, bro. We gotta see what like if it was a Tank.
But Lamont Roach had a really good night against him. Romero believes a rematch between Davis and Roach is necessary not just because of the competitive nature of the fight, but due to the controversy that surrounded it. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about that fight, Romero said. That random knee from Tank in the middle rounds, it came out of nowhere. None of the punches leading up to it landed clean, and it wasn't even a wild or aggressive exchange. Suddenly, Tank dropped to one knee, and everyone was confused. The incident was not ruled a knockdown by the officials.
And the people that came to watch me, you know, a lot of love is out there for me, and I think people know my heart, and know that I'll be back and better than ever.
Brian?
Yeah.
Just sort of take on the whole scene. I'm wondering if maybe had that been a full arena, maybe fans chanting, would it have done something different? It kind of seems like a little quiet for what we were expecting.
Yeah, I didn't really, wasn't a fan of that at all.
But Romero believes it should have been. If they had counted that knee as a knockdown, Tank would have lost the fight, he argued. And that changes everything. That's why I think a rematch is so important. Both fighters need a chance to settle this without any controversy. Romero praised Roach for his poise during the bout, saying he stayed patient and took his time. He didn't rush or get reckless. That's the sign of a seasoned fighter. He fought with maturity and discipline, and that really showed.
The amateurs, they promoted him like, oh, this is the next big thing, yada, 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 all that stuff. At the end of it, I've done this 3 times. Three different divisions. I'm a 3-time world champion, and this might actually be the biggest, the most attended fight card in boxing history. And I did it on this night.
Throughout the 12 rounds. Despite being a former opponent of Davis, Romero's respect for both men was clear in his comments. He acknowledged Davis's championship pedigree and knockout power, but also recognized that Roach exposed vulnerabilities that few have been able to highlight before. Tank still Tank. Romero.
But, you know, no excuses. It is what it is.
Saquon Jones is boxing was, you probably like less than 30 right hands the whole fight. Can you walk us through what the game plan was? Why did you not throw as many right hands the whole fight?
I mean, that's just part of just me not, you know.
Romero said he's dangerous at any moment, but Roach earned his respect that night. As Romero prepares for his own high-stakes fight against Ryan Garcia on May 2nd in Times Square.
He would never even think about to come up to 154.
All right, what about 47 though?
Yes, if he get to pick his opponent. But Tank would never come from 35 to 54.
Y'all got into it on social media around that time. Is that just you being competitive, like when that happens? Or is it like...
I just really don't like that dude.
Why though?
Cause I just don't like him. Like, I really don't like him. That's
just not your cup of tea. That's just not your...
Yeah, I don't like nothing about it.
Where he's keeping a close eye on the Davis-Roach saga for fans and fighters alike. It's a matchup that now feels unfinished, a fight that demands a clear winner, and a night free of controversy. Two of Floyd Mayweather's former proteges and past ring rivals Gervonta Davis and Rolando Romero have reunited in the lead-up to Davis's upcoming fight against Lamont, revealed that he brought Romero into camp because he considers him one of the hardest punchers he's ever faced, making him a valuable asset in preparation. Clipson. Preparation for his fight against Gervonta Davis hasn't just been focusing on speed and rhythm. He's also been building power through weightlifting and strength training to ensure he's fully ready.